How to improve English speaking in just 1 week. The mystery of speaking English. Imagine this. You walk into a coffee shop. The smell of fresh coffee fills the air. You order your drink, but as soon as you start speaking, the barista looks at you strangely. Your words don't come out smoothly. You feel nervous. You mix up words. You try again. But your English doesn't sound natural. People are listening. You feel embarrassed. Your heart beats fast. Your hands feel cold. You just wanted a simple coffee, but now it feels like a battle. Have you ever felt like this? Have you ever wanted to speak English fluently, confidently, naturally, but something holds you back? What if I told you that in just 1 week, you could completely change the way you speak English? What if I told you that in just 7 days, you could talk smoothly, confidently, and without fear? Sounds unbelievable, or well, sit tight, because I'm about to reveal the secret. But be warned, there's a twist in this story, a big twist. Day 1, the secret begins. Before we start, stop everything you are doing. Yes, right now. Take a deep breath and forget everything you know about learning English. Because today, we are going to do something different, something crazy, something funny. The first step to improving your English speaking is rule number 1. Talk to yourself. Wait, what? Talk to myself. Yes. Imagine you are in a movie. You are the main character. Start talking about everything around you. For example, if you are making tea, say, I am making tea. The water is hot. I am putting sugar. I love tea. Sounds simple. That's the point. The more you talk, the more confident you feel. And guess what? Nobody will judge you because you are talking to yourself. So go ahead. Start speaking. Day 2, the funny challenge. Now let's make things interesting. Today's rule is rule number 2, talk like a movie star. Yes, you heard me. Pick your favorite actor or favorite character and copy the way they speak. Do they speak slowly and dramatically? Do they speak fast and confidently? Try it. Stand in front of a mirror and say, "Hello, I am learning English, and I love it." Say it with emotion, with drama, with power. Don't just speak. Perform. It may feel funny, but that's the point. If you can laugh while speaking English, you will never feel nervous again. Day 3, the suspenseful test. Now things get serious. Today's rule is rule number 3, the 5-second rule. Imagine this. Someone asks you a question in English. You have only 5 seconds to answer. No time to think. No time to translate in your head. Just speak. Example. Q. What's your favorite food? A. Pizza. Q. What do you do in your free time? A. I watch movies. Q. What's your dream vacation? A. Paris. See? No long sentences, no complicated words, just quick answers, like a real English speaker. Day 4, the romantic twist. Now let's make things interesting. Today, you will practice romantic English. Yes, romantic. Even if you are single, even if you have never been in love. Today, you are a romantic poet. Try saying these sentences in front of a mirror. You have a beautiful smile. Your eyes are like stars. Your voice is like music. Now imagine you are in a romantic movie. You look into the mirror and say, I will learn English. For you. Doesn't that sound dramatic? If you can say romantic words in English, you can say anything in English. Day 5, the super funny test. Today, you will do something crazy. Rule number 4, speak English like a comedian. Yes. Today, your mission is to make people laugh. How? Tell a funny story in English. For example, yesterday I made coffee but forgot to add water. So, I drank air. Or, I tried to speak English in a restaurant. I said, I want a pizza, but they gave me 10 pizzas. When you laugh while speaking English, your brain remembers better. So today, be a comedian. Day 6, the final test. Are you ready for the real challenge? Rule number 5, speak with a stranger. I know, it sounds scary, but trust me, this is the best way to improve. Find a friendly person and start a simple conversation. Hi, how are you? Nice weather today. I like your shoes. See? It's not difficult. The secret is to start small, and before you know it, you are speaking fluently. Day 7, the big twist. Now comes the shocking truth. The real secret to learning English in just 1 week is not about grammar, not about vocabulary, not about books. It's about confidence. Yes, if you believe you can speak English, then you will speak English. If you speak every day, you will improve faster than any school, any course, any app. The biggest problem is FEAR. But today, you are fearless. Today, you are unstoppable. Today, you are a fluent English speaker. The moral of the story. English is not difficult. Fear makes it difficult. If you remove fear, you will speak like a pro. So remember, talk to yourself. Talk like a movie star. Use the 5-second rule. Speak romantically. Be a comedian. Talk to a stranger. Every day, one day people will say, wow, your English is amazing. And you will smile and say, yes, I learned it in just 1 week. Now, go out there and speak, asking questions in English. Imagine this. You're sitting in a bright classroom. The teacher says something and you don't understand. Your heart races. Should you raise your hand? Should you ask? What if others laugh? What if your English sounds wrong? Now, imagine a more dramatic scene. You're at a party, surrounded by people chatting in English. A new friend smiles at you and asks, so, what do you think? Silence. You freeze. Your mind goes blank. What do you say? How do you keep the conversation alive? This happens to everyone at some point, doesn't it? Whether you're a school kid trying to speak up in class or an adult in the workplace, asking questions in English feels like a mountain to climb. But wait, what if I told you this isn't just about English? It's about something deeper. It's about building confidence, showing curiosity, and connecting with people. So, let's dive in. But first, there's a twist. Did you know that asking questions the right way in English can open doors you didn't even know existed? A simple question can turn a stranger into a friend. It can help you ace an interview. It can even spark love or friendship. Yes, you heard me right. Asking questions is that powerful. Now, let's learn how to master it. Part 1. Why asking questions matters. Have you ever wondered why questions are so important? Questions are the key to understanding. They help you learn, explore, and discover. Think about it. How did great inventors and leaders change the world? They asked questions. Why does this happen? How can I make it better? Questions are like tiny bridges that connect your thoughts to the thoughts of others. But there's more. Asking questions shows confidence. It tells people you're interested in what they think. And guess what? People love talking about themselves. Asking the right question can make anyone smile. For example, instead of saying, "Nice weather," ask, "What's your favorite season?" Instead of saying, "Your dress is pretty," ask, "Where did you get it?" Do you see what happened? You turned a statement into a conversation. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. But wait, can questions be dangerous? Here's the twist. Yes, they can. If you ask without care, people might feel annoyed or judged. So, what's the trick? It's simple. Ask politely and show interest. Part 2. Funny moments. When asking questions. Let's lighten the mood. Have you ever asked something and gotten a totally unexpected answer? Picture this. A girl in the US asks her British friend, "What's your favorite cookie?" The friend smiles and says, "Biscuits, of course." Confused, the girl replies, "Biscuits? For breakfast?" They both laugh. Turns out, in the UK, biscuits are what Americans call cookies. Funny, isn't it? Sometimes asking questions leads to laughter and learning. Here's another one. Imagine a boy asking, "How do you like your tea?" His friend grins and says, "With milk and sugar, of course." The boy stares, confused. Milk? In tea? They both laugh. Asking questions not only teaches you new things, it creates funny, unforgettable moments. Part 3. How to ask smart questions in English. Now, let's get serious. How do you ask questions that make people want to talk to you? Here's a step-by-step guide. 1. Start simple. If you're nervous, begin with easy questions. For example, what's your favorite color? Do you like English? These questions are safe and friendly. 2. Use polite words. Politeness is the key. Always start with phrases like, "Can I ask?" "Do you mind if I ask?" "May I know?" For example, "May I know your favorite book?" Sounds much nicer than, "What book do you like?" 3. Show curiosity. People love it when you're genuinely curious. For example, "That's a lovely necklace. Where did you find it?" "Your accent is interesting. Where are you from?" 4. Be ready to listen. When you ask, be prepared to listen carefully. Nodding, smiling, and saying, "Oh, really?" or "That's amazing," makes the other person feel valued. 5. Avoid tricky topics. Some questions can make people uncomfortable. For example, don't ask about age or weight. Don't ask about money. Instead, keep your questions light and positive. Part 4. The suspense builds. But here's the dramatic part. What if you're in a situation where you have to ask a question, but you're terrified? Imagine being in a classroom where everyone stares at you, or at a job interview where every second feels like an hour. What do you do then? Here's the twist. Even confident people feel nervous. Yes, even the best speakers sometimes worry about sounding silly, but they have a secret weapon. Do you want to know what it is? It's this. They practice. They stand in front of a mirror and ask themselves questions. They record their voice and listen to it. They practice with friends or family. And here's another secret. It's okay to make mistakes. Every mistake is a step toward improvement. So, don't be scared to try. Part 5. Funny and romantic. Twist. Speaking of trying, let's talk about something sweet. Have you ever asked a question and accidentally made someone smile or blush? Imagine this. A boy nervously asks, "Do you like ice cream?" The girl smiles and says, "Who doesn't?" They laugh, and suddenly, they're friends. Or this. A girl asks, "Do you believe in love at first sight?" The boy laughs and replies, "No, but maybe I do now." Isn't that romantic? Sometimes asking the right question can create a magical moment. Part 6. The suspenseful end. Now, let's go back to the beginning. Remember the classroom, the party, the fear of speaking up? Here's the final twist. What if I told you that asking questions isn't about English at all? It's about you, your confidence, your curiosity, your willingness to connect. English is just the tool. So, the next time you're afraid to ask, remember this. You're not just learning English. You're learning to express yourself. You're learning to connect with the world. And that's the real power of asking questions. Now let me ask you a question. What will you ask next? Start. Speaking English. The mysterious letter. It was a quiet evening when Olivia, a 16-year-old girl from London, opened a strange envelope addressed to her. The handwriting was bold and elegant, and the note inside read, "Do you want to change your life? Do you dream of speaking English fluently and confidently? The journey starts now. Follow the clues, and you'll discover the secret. But beware, it's not for the faint-hearted." Her hands trembled, not out of fear, but excitement. Was this a prank? Who sent this? She didn't know. But something inside her told her to follow this unusual challenge. And here begins your journey too. Like Olivia, you may want to speak English fluently, but perhaps fear holds you back. Maybe it's the fear of making mistakes, being laughed at, or feeling stuck. But what if I told you that there's a way out? Let's unlock the mystery step by step. Why is speaking English so important? Here's a twist. English is not just a language, it's a key that opens doors to opportunities, friendships, and dreams. Whether you want to travel, study abroad, or land your dream job, English can take you there. But most people don't realize something important. Speaking English is not about using perfect grammar or fancy words. It's about connection. It's about expressing your ideas, emotions, and thoughts. The good news? You don't need to be a genius to start. The real reason people struggle to speak English. Before we move forward, let's talk about the twist no one tells you. Most people think they can't speak English because they don't know enough words. They're too old to learn. They're afraid of making mistakes. But here's the truth. The biggest reason people struggle isn't skills. It's confidence. Have you ever noticed how little kids pick up a language so easily? It's because they're not afraid to make mistakes. Adults, on the other hand, feel embarrassed. We worry about, and that stops us from trying. Step 1. Speak without fear. Let's break the suspense here. If you want to start speaking English, here's the secret. Just speak. You're probably thinking that's easier said than done, but hear me out. Start small. Here's how. Talk to yourself in English while looking in the mirror. Yes, it might feel silly, but it works wonders. Narrate your daily routine. For example, I'm brushing my teeth. Now I'm making tea. Read aloud. Take a book or an article and read it as if you're the star of a movie. The funny and dramatic twist. Imagine this. Olivia followed the first clue in her mysterious letter, and it led her to a coffee shop. The second clue was written under her teacup. Speak to the barista in English and order something you've never tried before. She hesitated. Her heart pounded. What if she stumbled over her words? What if the barista laughed at her? But she took a deep breath and spoke. May I have, a cappuccino with almond milk, please? The barista smiled warmly, and, suddenly, Olivia felt a spark of confidence. Now imagine you're in Olivia's shoes. What would you do? Would you take that first step? Step 2. Surround yourself with English. Here's another twist. You don't need to move to an English-speaking country to master the language. You can create an English environment wherever you are. Watch movies and shows in English. Start with subtitles if you need to. Comedies are a great choice because they teach casual, everyday phrases. Listen to English music. Try singing along. Even if you can't hit the high notes, you'll learn new words. Change your phone's language settings to English. It's a small change, but it forces you to think in English every day. Step 3. Find a speaking partner. The next clue Olivia found said, "You can't learn to swim by reading about swimming. You have to jump into the water." The same is true for English. To improve your speaking, you need to speak with others. Find a partner, a friend, family member, or even an online community. Don't worry about mistakes. The goal is to practice. Step 4. Laugh at your mistakes. Here's where the humor comes in. Mistakes are part of the process, and they can be funny. Olivia once said dessert instead of dessert while talking about a geography project, and her entire class burst out laughing. But guess what? That laughter didn't crush her confidence. It made her stronger. She learned, laughed, and moved on. So, the next time you mess up, smile and think, well, at least I'm learning. Step 5. Use real-life scenarios. Imagine this dramatic twist. Olivia's final clue led her to a stage. A voice announced, "You have 2 minutes to tell the audience about your dream." She froze for a second, but then remembered all her practice. Like Olivia, challenge yourself with real-life scenarios. Order food at a restaurant in English. Introduce yourself to a stranger. Pretend you're giving a speech at an award show. The big reveal. The true secret to speaking English. At the end of Olivia's journey, she found a small box with a note inside. The secret to speaking English is simple. Start before you're ready. Confidence comes with practice, and mistakes are stepping stones to success. Here's the suspense revealed for you too. There's no perfect moment to start. Start now. Start small. But start. The moral of the article. The journey to speaking English is like a roller coaster. There are twists, turns, and moments of fear. But at the end of the ride, you realize it was all worth it. Remember, 1. Confidence is more important than grammar. 2. Mistakes are your best teacher. 3. Practice a little every day, and soon you'll surprise yourself. And finally, laugh, enjoy, and embrace the process. Your voice matters, and the world is waiting to hear it. Are you ready to take the first step? Step 5. Watch, listen, and repeat. Want to make learning fun? Watch English cartoons, listen to simple songs, or follow short YouTube videos. You don't need to understand every word. Focus on the expressions and try to repeat what they say. Funny moment. You might sound like a cartoon character at first, but that's part of the learning process. Laugh at yourself and enjoy the journey. Step 6. Make English a part of your daily life. The secret to mastering English is to use it every day. Here's how you can do it. 1. Grocery shopping. Read labels in English and learn new words. 2. Daily diary. Write 1 or 2 sentences about your day in English. 3. Texting. Send short English messages to friends or family. Imagine texting your best friend, "How are you today?" and receiving a reply in English. Doesn't that feel amazing?
How to improve English reading like American people. Hey there, my dear students. I know why you're here today. You want to improve your English reading, right? You want to read like people from the United States, with that smooth, confident accent that sounds effortless. You want to feel like you're in a Hollywood movie, reading lines like a pro. Well, let me tell you something shocking. Most people struggle with reading in English, even some Americans. Yes, you heard me right. Not everyone in the United States reads perfectly. Some mumble, some read too fast, some struggle with difficult words, and some even forget what they just read. Sounds scary, right? But don't worry. Today, I will teach you a simple way to read English naturally, like a true American. But before we start, I have a little secret to tell you. And trust me, this secret will change your life forever. But wait, not now. I'll tell you at the end of this lesson. So, stay with me, stay focused, and let's begin. Why is reading English hard for you? Let me guess. You start reading, but after 2 sentences, your brain gets tired. You read aloud, but it doesn't sound natural. You don't understand half the words, and the other half just confuse you. You hear Americans speaking, and you think, why does my reading sound different? I get it. And you know what? It's not your fault. English reading is tricky because English is a funny language. Sometimes the words don't sound like they look. Sometimes one word has 5 different meanings. Sometimes Americans speak so fast, it feels like they're not even using real words. But guess what? After today, you will never struggle with reading again, because I'm going to share some powerful tricks that will make you read like a pro. But first, let me ask you something. Have you ever watched an American TV show and thought, wow, I want to speak like that? Why do they sound so cool when they talk? How do they read without stopping or struggling? Well, let's steal their secret. Secret number 1. Read like you're talking to a friend. Here's the first rule. Never read like a robot. Many students read English like this. Hello? My name is Lucy. First Amendment from New York. No, no, no. That's not how Americans read. Americans read like they're talking to a friend. Like this. Hey, my name's Lucy, and I'm from New York. See the difference. The first one sounds stiff and unnatural. The second one sounds friendly and smooth. That's the goal. So, next time you read, imagine you're telling a story to your best friend. Read with feeling, excitement, and energy. Secret number 2. Follow the rhythm of American English. Do you know why American English sounds different from British English? Because it has rhythm. Listen carefully. American English has a wave. Sometimes words are fast, sometimes they are slow. Some words are loud, some are soft. It's like music. Try this sentence. I can't believe you said that. Say it slowly, then say it fast. Notice how some words are more important than others? That's called sentence stress, and it's the secret to sounding natural. Now, here's a fun challenge. Read this sentence with different emotions. As if you're excited. As if you're angry. As if you're surprised. As if you're confused. See how the rhythm changes? That's how you master American reading. Secret number 3. Use your hands and face. Yes, You heard me right. Use your hands and face while reading. Have you ever seen Americans talk? They move their hands, raise their eyebrows, and change their voices while speaking. They don't just read with their mouth. They read with their whole body. Try this. Raise your eyebrows when you read a question. Smile when you read something happy. Look serious when you read something important. It will make your reading natural, fun, and full of life. Secret number 4. Read out loud. Every day. Do you want to know a crazy fact? The fastest way to improve your reading is to read out loud every day. I know what you're thinking. But I feel shy. People will laugh at me. I don't have time, no excuses. The more you read out loud, the better your accent will be. Start with 5 minutes a day. Read anything, a book, a news article, even a recipe for cookies. Just keep reading. And remember, don't whisper. Read with confidence. Even if you make mistakes, keep going. Secret number 5. Listen to American voices. While reading. Have you ever tried reading and listening at the same time? It's the best way to copy the American accent. Here's what you do. Find an audiobook or a YouTube video of an American reading. Play the audio and read along with them. Try to copy their voice, their tone, their pauses. Do this every day, and soon you'll sound like a native speaker. Final secret, the one that changes everything, and now, the moment you've been waiting for, the biggest secret to reading English like an American. It's, drum roll please, believe in yourself. Yes, my dear students, the biggest secret is confidence. No matter how many tips and tricks you learn, if you don't believe in yourself, you will never improve. You must trust that you can do this. So, from today, promise yourself, I will not be afraid of making mistakes. I will practice every day. I will read with confidence. I will enjoy learning English. And guess what? If you follow these secrets, one day someone will hear you reading and say, "Wow, are you American?" And that, my friends, is the best feeling in the world. The end, or the beginning. So, my beloved students, this is not the end of your English journey. This is the beginning. Now, go out there and read like a pro. Practice every day. Believe in yourself, and soon you will read English better than you ever imagined. And remember, I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself? Then say it with me. Yes, I can. Now go. Start reading, start practicing, and start winning. How to speak English easily and confidently. I know why you are here. You want to speak English easily and confidently, right? You want to talk like people from the United States or the United Kingdom? You want to sound natural, smooth, and clear? But let me tell you something shocking. Even native English speakers struggle sometimes. Yes, it's true. Some people in the US and UK speak too fast, forget words, or feel nervous while talking. So don't worry if you feel shy. You are not alone. And guess what? Today, I will teach you the easiest way to speak English like a pro. But wait, before we start, I have a secret to tell you. A big secret that will change the way you speak English forever. But I will tell you at the end of this lesson. So, stay with me. Are you ready? Let's begin. Why is speaking English hard for you? Let me guess. You know the words, but they don't come out when you speak. You feel shy and think, what if I make a mistake? You translate words from your native language, and it takes too long. You speak, but people say, can you repeat that? Does this sound like you? Don't worry. Today, we will fix all of this. I will give you 5 easy secrets to speak English confidently without fear. But before that, let me ask you something. Have you ever watched an American movie and thought, wow, I want to speak like that? Why do they sound so natural? How can I speak without stopping? Well, let's steal their secret. Secret number 1. Think in English, not your native language. This is the biggest mistake most learners make. They think in their own language first, then translate to English. No, that takes too much time. Here's what you do. Start with simple words. Look at things around you and say their names in English. Make small sentences in English in your mind. For example, if you are drinking water, don't think in your native language. Just think, I am drinking water. It is cold. It tastes good. See? Easy. Secret number 2. Stop worrying about mistakes. Listen to me carefully. Mistakes are good? Yes. The more mistakes you make, the faster you learn. Even native speakers make mistakes, but do they stop speaking? No. They keep talking. So, from today, promise yourself, I will not be afraid. I will speak even if I make mistakes. I will learn from my mistakes. And guess what? People don't care if you make mistakes. They just want to understand you. Secret number 3. Speak out loud every day. If you want to be fluent, you must speak every day. You don't need a teacher. You don't need a partner. Just talk to yourself. Try this. Stand in front of a mirror. Look at yourself and say, hello? How are you today? Keep talking. Talk about your day, your plans, your favorite food. At first, it will feel strange, but soon, your English will improve. Fast. Secret number 4. Listen. More, speak better. Do you know the fastest way to improve your speaking? Listen to native speakers. Find English movies, English songs, English podcasts, and listen every day. Don't just listen for fun. Copy the way they speak. Try this. Play a short video in English. Pause after every sentence. Repeat the sentence exactly like them. This will help you sound natural and confident. Secret number 5. Use simple words. First, some students try to use big words to sound smart. But guess what? Even native speakers use simple words. For example, instead of saying, I am experiencing difficulty understanding this concept, just say, I don't understand this. See? Short, simple, and clear. Start with basic words first. Then, as you improve, you can add more vocabulary.
Hello, my name is Jessica. I'm 16 years old and I've always lived in New York City, but last summer everything changed. My parents announced that we were moving to London. At first I was excited. A new country, new places to explore. It sounded like an adventure. But deep inside, I was nervous too. Would I fit in? Would I make friends? And most importantly, would I keep up with my studies in a place where everyone spoke with such polished English? The real story begins on the plane. Suspenseful twist, a plane ride of uncertainty. My family and I boarded our flight from New York to London, filled with excitement and jitters. I took my seat, a window seat as always. I love watching the clouds. Opposite me sat 3 young travelers, 2 girls and a boy. They looked about my age, and it was clear from their expressions that they were nervous. As we settled in, I overheard their conversation. It wasn't in English, at least not fluent English. Words were jumbled, and their accents were heavy. One of the girls tried to ask the flight attendant for water but stumbled, her words coming out awkwardly. The boy noticed me watching and hesitated before asking, "You help us? Speak English?" I nodded quickly, though my own nerves flared up. Would I know how to help? This small exchange planted a seed of thought in my mind. Could I improve my own English enough to guide others like them someday? A arrival. In London. A new world. We landed in London, and everything felt different. The air was cool, the streets were bustling, and the accents were unmistakably British. On my first day at English high school, I felt completely out of place. My classmates spoke so confidently, while I hesitated. Would I sound silly? Would they laugh at my American expressions? Then I met Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson's first words, setting the stage. "Good morning, class." Mr. Thompson greeted us with energy. His voice was deep, but kind, filled with enthusiasm. "Today we're going to talk about something very important. How to master English. Not just for exams, but for life. Who's ready?" His question was met with silence at first. He grinned. "Oh, come on. English is fun. I promise you'll leave this class today feeling more confident. But first, let me ask you a question. How many of you have ever felt scared to speak English in front of others?" Slowly, almost everyone raised their hands, including me. "Good," he said, surprising us all. "Feeling scared means you care, and if you care, you can improve. Let's begin." The lecture. Breaking down. English mastery. Mr. Thompson turned to the whiteboard and wrote in big, bold letters, 1. Confidence is key. "Now listen carefully," he said, pacing the room. "The number 1 rule of speaking English or any language is confidence. Even if you make mistakes, say it with pride. Why? Because people are more interested in your effort than your perfection. Jessica, let me ask you, how did you feel when you heard those 3 kids on the plane struggling to speak English?" I blinked, caught off guard. I felt like I wanted to help them. "Exactly," Mr. Thompson beamed. "You didn't care about their mistakes, you admired their effort. That's how most people feel when they hear someone trying. So, rule 1, speak with confidence. Got it?" The class murmured in agreement. 2. Listening is learning next, he wrote. Listen twice, speak once. "Who here listens to music?" he asked. Hands shot up. "Great. Music is one of the best tools for learning English, but don't just hum along. Listen carefully. Pay attention to the lyrics. How do singers pronounce words? How do they connect them? And don't stop there. Watch English shows, listen to podcasts, and talk to people." He paused for dramatic effect. "The more you listen, the better you'll speak. It's like filling your brain with all the right tools." 3. Practice makes perfect. Mr. Thompson then wrote, "Practice every single day." "Now I know what you're thinking," he said with a smirk. "Ugh, practice. Sounds boring, right?" The class chuckled nervously. "But what if I told you it could be fun?" "Jessica, tell me, do you ever talk to yourself?" I felt my cheeks turn red. "Sometimes? Good. That's your secret weapon. Practice speaking to yourself. Describe what you're doing, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. It might feel silly at first, but trust me, It works. And if you have friends learning English, practice with them. Make it a game. The power of reading. Next, he turned to read everything you can find. Books, articles, signs, menus, anything written in English is your friend, he explained. Reading helps you expand your vocabulary and understand how sentences are structured. Start with simple books and work your way up. Jessica, do you like stories? I nodded. Great. Pick a storybook tonight and read it out loud. Record yourself. Then listen. You'll hear where you're strong and where you need work. Engaging the class. Interactive exercises. Mr. Thompson then made us pair up for a quick exercise. Turn to your partner and describe what you did this morning. Use as many details as possible. And remember, confidence is key. At first, we stumbled, but soon, the room buzzed with chatter. The twist. A final challenge. As the lesson ended, Mr. Thompson surprised us. For tomorrow, I want each of you to prepare a short speech about something you love. It could be a hobby, a place, or even your favorite food. But here's the catch. You have to deliver it in front of the whole class. The room erupted in groans and nervous laughter. You can do it, he said with a wink. Remember confidence, listening, practice, and reading. Follow these steps and you'll amaze yourselves. Closing the lesson. A moral to remember. Before dismissing us, Mr. Thompson left us with one final thought. Learning English or any skill is like planting a tree. At first, it's just a tiny seed. You water it with effort, feed it with practice, and one day it grows into something beautiful. So, don't rush. Enjoy the journey. And never forget, every mistake is a step forward. Conclusion. The impact of Mr. Thompson's words. That night, I sat with my notebook, practicing my speech. Mr. Thompson's words echoed in my mind. Confidence is key. Mistakes are progress. Enjoy the journey. The next day, as I stood in front of the class, my hands trembled. But I remembered his advice. I took a deep breath and spoke with all the confidence I could muster. When I finished, the room erupted in applause. It was a small moment, but it felt huge to me. Moral of the lecture. No matter where you're from or what challenges you face, learning is always possible. With confidence, effort, and the right guidance, you can achieve anything. And who knows? Maybe one day you'll be the one helping someone else find their voice. Would you like me to expand on any section or refine it further?
How to improve English for beginners in 31 days. The ultimate guide to unlocking your potential. Are you ready for a challenge? Can you feel the excitement brewing in your chest? Imagine this. 31 days from now, your English skills could be transformed. Yes, you heard that right. You could speak more confidently, understand more fluently, and write with ease. But how? You may think it sounds too good to be true, right? A month? Just 31 days? Isn't that impossible? Could someone really go from struggling to speak simple sentences to sounding fluent? It's not only possible, it's within your reach. And by the end of this article, you'll know exactly how to make that transformation happen. Trust me, the suspense builds. But first, let me tell you why it's so much easier than you think. Day 1. Start where you are. Do you know what the most important step is? It's not about learning tons of new words right away, and it's not about focusing on perfect grammar. Nope. It's starting right where you are. That means you don't have to be perfect to begin. If you're just starting out, that's absolutely fine. Begin by saying hello in English, and don't worry about making mistakes. The key is to just start. So simple, yet so powerful. Did you think you had to be perfect right away? No. Mistakes are how we learn. Day 2 to day 5. Building your vocabulary. Here's the first twist. You're probably thinking, okay, I need to learn hundreds of words. But wait, the trick is to start with the most common words, the ones you'll use every day. But how, you might ask? Simple. Focus on words related to your daily routine. Can you say good morning in English? Great. Can you say thank you? Fantastic. Build your list, keep it simple, and say them out loud. Here's the catch. You don't just memorize the words. Nope. You use them in sentences. Even if it's just, good morning, my name is your name. See, you're already speaking in full sentences. What a twist. Day 6 to day 10. Listening and watching in English. Okay, so now you're probably asking, how can I improve my English if I don't have anyone to talk to? Simple. Listen to English every day. Watch cartoons, movies, or videos online. Anything that interests you. Don't focus on understanding every word. Just let the English wash over you like a warm, comforting blanket. Slowly, you'll start catching words, phrases, and expressions that you already know. Isn't it fun to hear them again? You'll even start to recognize the tone of voice, the speed of speech, and those little cues that show you what's happening without needing perfect grammar. Day 11 to day 15. Speaking out loud, even if it's just to yourself. You know that little voice inside your head? You're going to talk to it. Out loud. Start speaking English every day, even if it's just to yourself. Maybe you feel a bit silly, but trust me, the benefits are huge. You'll improve your pronunciation and confidence without even realizing it. Here's the suspenseful part. Are you ready? Imagine speaking English and not worrying about anyone listening. How powerful would that be? It's like suddenly being able to fly without anyone telling you, don't try that. You just speak, even if it's just one sentence a day. I like to read books. It's raining outside. I want to learn more. That's all you need. Let's keep it simple and fun. Day 16 to day 20. Read, read, read. If you're wondering what comes next, here's your answer. Read. But wait, it's not just any reading. What should you read? Start with short stories or books that are fun and easy. Try reading out loud if you can. This is where it gets interesting. You'll come across words you don't know yet. But don't panic. Just guess their meaning from the context or look them up. The trick is not to get frustrated, but to enjoy the journey. The suspense continues to build. Each time you read a page, you're getting a little bit closer to fluency. Just think about it. One day, you'll open a book in English, and without even trying, you'll understand everything on that page. Can you feel that? You're getting closer and closer. Day 21 to day 25. Conversations, the real test. Here comes the twist of twists. It's time to talk to real people. Don't worry about perfection. Focus on the flow. Find a friend, or even a stranger, who speaks English and start a simple conversation. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you'll be amazed at how much you can say when you just jump in. Remember, the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. But I don't know what to talk about, you might be asking. Simple. Talk about your day. Even better, make it a game. Pretend you're a reporter and you have to tell someone about your day. What did you do today? Can you describe it in English? The more you speak, the more your mind will expand, and soon you'll be having full conversations. It's like the clouds lifting and revealing the clear sky. Everything will make sense. Day 26 to day 30. The power of writing. Now we're getting to the juicy part. Writing. What? Right, but I'm just starting out. Yes, it's time to put those words you've been learning into writing. Start small, like writing a diary entry about your day. It doesn't have to be perfect. The goal here is practice. And guess what? You'll start to see how much your writing improves day by day. How exciting is that? Your very own words, in English. Soon, you'll be writing emails, chatting online, and even writing stories of your own. Day 31. The big reveal. What have you learned? Now, here comes the most exciting part. You've made it. 31 days. You've learned so much, and you probably didn't even realize how much progress you've made. Think back to day 1, when you were unsure if you could do it. And now, you've built your confidence, learned vocabulary, spoken with others, and even written in English. But wait, this is just the beginning. Can you imagine how far you'll go if you continue this every single day? You're not just learning English, you're changing your life. The moral of this story is this: consistency is key. It's not about perfection, it's about practicing every single day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Every small step builds up. You don't need to stress out about speaking perfectly or writing flawless sentences. Just keep moving forward and watch how quickly your English skills grow. So, what are you waiting for? Start today. And in just 31 days, you'll be amazed at how far you've come. Don't let fear hold you back. And remember, every mistake is just a step towards success. You've get this.
Daily English conversations. Real-life phrases and idioms. A strange start. What happened next? It was a cold winter evening. Scarlett sat by the window, sipping her warm tea. The city outside was buzzing with life, but inside her apartment, silence filled the air. Her phone vibrated. A message popped up. You need to learn real-life English conversations before it's too late. Scarlett's heart skipped a beat. Too late? Who sent this message? She checked the number. Unknown. Was this some kind of joke? But something inside her told her to pay attention. Maybe it's a sign, she thought. She had been struggling with English conversations for a long time. She could read and write well, but when it came to speaking, that was a different story. Every time she tried to speak, words got stuck. Her mind went blank, and she felt embarrassed. But this message, it felt mysterious. It felt like a challenge. She took a deep breath. "All right," she whispered. "Let's do this." And that's when everything changed. The truth about English conversations. Most people think learning English is all about grammar rules and vocabulary lists. But let's be real. Who speaks like a grammar book in real life? Imagine this. You're at a cafe. You want to order a coffee. The barista smiles and says, "Hey, what can I get for you?" Now, if you're stuck in grammar mode, you might freeze. Yeah. What is yeah? Where is the subject, the verb? But here's the truth. Real-life English is not about perfect grammar. It's about communication. People use contractions, idioms, and informal phrases all the time. If you only learn textbook English, you'll feel lost in real conversations. So, let's dive into the real-life phrases and idioms that will make you sound like a natural English speaker. 1. Greetings that sound natural. Forget the boring, "Hello, how are you?" Nobody talks like that in real life. Instead, try these. "Hey, how's it going? What's up?" Very casual. "Long time no see." for friends you haven't seen in a while. Funny twist. Imagine saying, "Long time no see," to someone you saw yesterday. Oops. Awkward. 2. Ordering food without feeling nervous. Ever felt nervous at a restaurant because you don't know what to say? Don't worry. Here's what native speakers actually say. "Can I get a cheeseburger, please?" Casual. "I'll have a large coffee." Very natural. "What do you recommend?" Perfect if you're unsure. Funny twist. Imagine asking, "What do you recommend?" And the waiter says, "Leaving." Ha ha ha. 3. Taking a taxi like a pro. If you ever take a taxi, don't just say, "Take me to the airport." That sounds too robotic. Instead, try, "Could you take me to the airport, please? How long will it take to get there? Can we take a faster route?" Funny twist. Imagine telling the driver, "Take me somewhere fun," and they drop you at a library. 4. Phone conversations that sound natural. Speaking on the phone can be scary, right? But with these phrases, you'll sound super confident. "Hey, is this a good time to talk?" Polite way to check. "Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you repeat? Let me call you back in 10 minutes. Funny. Twist. Imagine calling someone and saying, "Let me call you back," and they say, "But you called me." 5. Idioms that make you sound like a native. Idioms are expressions that don't always make sense literally, but they make you sound super fluent. Here are some fun ones. Break a leg means good luck. It's raining cats and... Wait, no, we're not saying that word. Haha. Hit the sack means go to sleep. Funny twist. Imagine telling your friend, "Hit the sack," and they punch a bag of rice. 6. Romantic English phrases. Want to sound smooth in English when talking to someone special? Try these. "You have a beautiful smile." "You make my day brighter." "I love spending time with you." Funny twist. Imagine saying, "You make my day brighter," and they reply, "I'm a flashlight." Haha. 7. Hard twists and suspenseful ending. Scarlett had spent weeks practicing these real-life phrases. She felt confident. She could order food, take a taxi, and even talk on the phone without panicking. But then, something shocking happened. One evening, she got a phone call. "Scarlett, did you forget our dinner tonight?" Her heart stopped. It was Leo, the guy she had a huge crush on. Oh no, she had totally forgotten. She took a deep breath and used her new English skills. "Hey, Leo!" "So sorry. I lost track of time. Can we meet in 10 minutes? Leo laughed. "Sure. I was worried you'd say no." Scarlett smiled. She had done it. She had spoken with confidence. And best of all, she had a date. Moral. Learning real-life English conversations isn't about grammar books. It's about confidence. Use these phrases, practice them daily, and you'll sound like a native speaker in no time. And who knows? Maybe your English skills will lead to something even more exciting, like a surprise date. Now tell me, are you ready to improve your daily English conversations? Let's do this. What's next? If you enjoyed this, keep practicing. Try using at least 3 of these phrases today. And remember, English is fun. Keep learning, keep laughing, and keep speaking with confidence. Now go out there and impress everyone with your real-life English skills. Why is English listening so hard? Let's be honest. Listening to English speakers is not like reading a textbook. It's messy. They connect words. They speak fast. They use slang. Sometimes They don't even pronounce full words. For example, if you hear, "Did you eat?" It might actually sound like, "D'ya eat?" What? Where did half the words go? This is why many learners feel lost when listening to native speakers. But don't worry, I'm about to reveal 7 simple tricks to make English listening super easy. The 7 secrets to super listening skills. 1. Stop trying to understand every word. Yes, you read that right. The biggest mistake learners make, they try to catch every single word. But guess what? Even